Hi, everyone. Welcome to meal kit number 37 for the week of February 2nd to 6th. We're excited to cook with you and for you tonight, and welcome to the Green Kitchen. Let's go ahead and get started. We've got a really delicious meal for you tonight. We've got a beautiful buttermilk brine Cornish hen. It has been cooked already, sous vide, and we're going to warm it up and roast it, finish roasting. So a generous amount of salt and pepper into the 400-degree oven for 15 minutes plus 5 minutes resting. Very important. And then let's talk about our appetizer. So I know I need to get a cast iron or non-stick pan going to medium heat. And I'm going to jump ahead on the back burner here and get my little mushroom ragu going. And then I'm going to get the sauce diab, both for the main courses. And they're going to warm up. Perfect. That's being a little finicky. We'll see how that works out. But fundamentally, you want to warm up both of them over low heat and do a little stirring of the sauce diab. I've got this little thing in the Christmas stocking, and it works out really well, a little tiny whisk. We'll keep that aside. Okay, so grilled or pan-seared halloumi. Now, halloumi, if you haven't had it before, is a Cypriot cheese from Cyprus, and it's very squeaky. It's almost like poutine cheese, except a lot more flavorful. And you can pan fry it and it doesn't melt apart, which is really great. So going to Chef Rich's instructions, once the pan is preheated, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of canola oil per person. And if you watched this before, you know that I, instead of canola oil, prefer grapeseed oil. Not everyone has it in their home, which is why we say canola oil, which is a little more common. And that's going to warm up, and we're going to put the halloumi in there and the chorizo sausage. And we're going to heat it up in the same pan at the same time, which is going to be great. We have a salad that goes along with it. Now, in the instructions, it calls for frisée. Unfortunately, the frisée didn't come in today, but it will tomorrow. I always record this on Monday night. So everyone this week should have frisée, but I'm going to substitute arugula, which is the closest thing in terms of texture to it. And just put that in there with some salt and pepper and a generous amount of olive oil. The frisée is great because it adds more texture to the dish than arugula will on its own, but both equally delicious. All right, so our pan should be nice and hot or medium hot. Little water in there. If it bubbles, that means we're good. When I did the halloumi last time, it melted away a little bit, so I think I had it on too hot. So let's make sure we're on medium heat. Perfect. And then chorizo is going right in the same pan. So the chorizo has been cooked already, so you're really just warming it up and giving it a little caramelizing on the outside. 2 minutes on that guy, I believe. Let me see what Chef Rich says. 4 minutes per side. There we go, while reheating chorizo in the same pan. So the salad is all done up. So we're going to come back to that in a little bit. Let's see, on my timing, I think I want to work on the dessert next to see that all plated up. Okay, we've got some olive oil and Meyer lemon bar. So lavender shortbread with Meyer lemon bar and olive oil ganache. And so the ganache, our sous chef Megan, who does a lot of our desserts for our curated program, suggested putting it on the bottom. I'm going to find a little spatula to help me do this. Is that my best spatula? Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to try one on the bottom and one on the top and see which one it looks better. And then I'm going to tell you guys in my emails. Hopefully you all read my emails that I send along. My wife told me the other day there was maybe too much information, so I'll see if I can cut that back. And then this one's going to go on top. Okay, the halloumi is going nicely. I want to make sure it doesn't Whittle away. Yeah, we're good. Give that another minute. Okay, so our olive oil and lemon, Meyer lemon bar. Now, Meyer lemons, in case you're unfamiliar, are a beautiful sweet lemon that are grown in, well, originally from Fort Meyer, Florida. They kind of perfected this thing where it's a sweet lemon, and they're available at this time of year. I'm going to try a different spoon here. See how that rolls. Spread it out on top. Now, I always like to put a little garnish on mine. It's not needed, but certainly for the pictures, it makes it pop a little bit more. So in this case, I've got some blueberries in my fridge, so that's what I'm going to use. I eat blueberries most mornings unless they're really out of season. Basically, blueberries have two seasons, one for North America and one for South America, and they travel pretty well. So I'm going to just put some blueberries on there. More around. Yeah, you know what? We really need some of that nice lemon ganache on top. I've got a little bit extra. So I'm going to spread it below and above. But please be creative and send along your pictures. I always love when you do the pictures. And the staff love it too. All right. Blueberries up above. I think that's going to be our nice one, which I'm going to show you in a second. But first off, let's turn the halloumi. You want to get a nice little brownness to it. And I'm going to turn the chorizo upside down as well. This guy's going on. Turn it up a little bit. I'm going to tell you about the white wine for tonight, which I absolutely love. I'm thrilled that Connor chose this one. This is one of my favorites. It is a Love Block Pinot Gris. They're mostly known for their Sauvignon Blanc because New Zealand grows a ton of Sauvignon Blanc, but their Pinot Gris is the one that I really love. Much smaller in quantity. Now, in 2006, Erica and Kim Crawford, you might know that name from their famous Sauvignon Blanc and Pinot Noir projects that they sold to a Canadian company, Vincor. But they purchased an untamed block of land and coaxed it with organic and biodynamic and sheer bloody-minded techniques into one of Marlborough's highest vineyards. This became known as Erica's Love Block, in part for the spectacular views and in part for the nurturing required to farm it. On the nose, inviting aromas of green and orange melon plus pears and infused chamomile and citrus notes. The palate showcases the ripe melon flavors, Ganache pear infused citrus characters, which are complemented with an appealing texture and mouthfeel. This is what kept fresh and on the tongue by natural fruit acidity. The palate is engaging and has a lingering vibrancy. So it's just rich and unctuous, but it's got that fresh acidity on the front, and that's why I love it. Appetizers coming along. Our mushrooms, ragu, ready to be stirred. Our sauce needs to get a little bit hotter, I think. Let's work on that. So next up on the appetizer train, the halloumi is going to be cut into two triangles. We're going to plate the halloumi first, followed by the chorizo, dollop the tapenade on top of the halloumi, and the frisee around, and spoon the piperade over top. So let's spread that out. And check out our halloumi. Again, you want a nice little brown crust to it. It's not quite there yet. Oh, the gas kind of turned off on me on that one. There we go. So I'm going to look ahead to the main course. So medium-high heat, which I haven't done. I'll probably just put it on there once I pull the halloumi off. So we'll forget about that. And we're going to do the Schweitzel, and we're going to do the broccoli in that pan. All right, let's see how we're doing on the halloumi. Yeah, I think that's nice. So I'm going to bring it over here and put it right on the cutting board. Make sure to grab a dry towel so you don't burn anything. right there. And then this guy is going to go on for a medium heat. Give the mushrooms a little stir. Hopefully you guys are following along. I know I'm just kind of jumping all over the place between appetizer and main course. All right, so halloumi going into triangles. There we go. I just needed to grab a corner of it. And that's going down first. So appetizer plate is over here. Don't be afraid to use your hands when you're cooking. It's a nice thing. Make sure I get this right. So we've got the halloumi followed by the chorizo, dollop the tapenade next. So about 3 pieces of chorizo per person. Chorizo is one of my favorite things. Well, pretty much most pork products are one of my favorite things. The chorizo is really great. Just a little bit of spice to it. Okay, we're going to get rid of this guy. Turn that down. We're going to put some canola oil in, or grapeseed oil for the Schweitzel. Okay, clean this up. Made a little mess. Tapenade on top. Well, half and half. Huh, lost my napkin. You guys have been incredibly supportive through this last stage of lockdown, and we are very grateful. Just the amount of emails of support, the tips that you guys have left for our staff have been fantastic and so joyous. So thanks for sharing. Okay. So next up, I'm going to put the arugula around. In seeing this, I don't know what it's going to look like with the frisee necessarily, but feel free to put it a little bit down first so that the halloumi that's put on top, if you like, makes it a little bit easier. You know, I have to translate sort of the chef's intention into the plate based upon the cooking instructions that we go over. I should have clarified this one a little more. And the piperade, which is a roasted red pepper sauce, it's going to go over top. You don't need to season this with salt and pepper because there's all kinds of salty things on this plate. The chorizo and especially the halloumi, which is a very salty cheese. Hopefully this is what Chef Rich had in mind. Let's see which one is a little better. Yeah, I think this one. So there you go. Our pan-seared halloumi with chorizo sausage, olive tapenade, piperade, and arugula, but in your case, it's going to be frisee. All right, now our pan is ready to go for the Schweitzel. So 2 tablespoons of canola oil per person. We're going to put Schweitzel in. I've got a spatula here. So you want to spread it out so that it's nice and even. Get as much of the spatula touching the bottom. Schweitzel, for those of you who are unfamiliar with it, is a loose Austrian pasta or dumpling. So you basically make a pasta dough and then you shave it through like a cheese grater into water. There's like fancy Schweitzel makers if you really want to do it. But at home, if you wanted to make this, you would just use a cheese grater, and it's good. Okay, so our instructions on the Schweitzel. Once the bottom is caramelized for about 3 minutes, we're going to add the broccoli and 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter per person. So 2 tablespoons of butter. Forgot to pull that out. Unsalted, yes, make sure I get the right one. There we go. I love these ones that are divided so that you can see what the tablespoons are. That's right there. Perfect. We'll get rid of that. All right. So broccoli is going in next. The hen is almost done. Let me make sure I'm sauteing these things, or the mushroom ragout is looking great. And a little whisk for my sauce diab. There's no skin forming there, which is beautiful. I'm going to get rid of this pan because I'm going to need that trivet to rest my hen when it comes out of the oven. Which actually, you know what? We're at 15 minutes. Oh, that smells beautiful. So we're going to rest it for 5 minutes. Let the juices go back to the center before we eat it. And we're at about 3 minutes. Let me make sure we got a little brown going on. We do. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit. Give it 1 more minute to brown. And then kick it around with the broccoli and the butter. Why don't we just throw the butter in right now? Melt it on down. Turn up the heat just a touch. This guy can probably come down a little bit. And I'm going to talk to you about our red wine, which is from Tuscany. Bibi Greitz, a painter and a vigneron born from an Israeli father and a Norwegian mother, combines his two passions with gusto, as shown by his incredible wine that will surely please Tuscan fans. A blend of Sangiovese with a touch of Syrah and Merlot, rich in texture, boasting cherry, blueberry, and floral flavors. Straightforward and delicious, with immediate appeal. Let's see if Connor is telling the truth. It's got that really nice dusty quality that Italian wines can bring along. That beautiful fruit, it's sort of this rich elegance with this sort of rustic quality of that earthiness. I've gotten to know and appreciate Italian wines more since going to Italy. So if you've never been to Italy and checked out some vineyards, please do that when our pandemic is over, because I was skeptical before I went over there, and then everything changed for me. I'm going to turn this up to medium high, by the way, to just finish off the broccoli and the Schweitzel nicely in here. And I am sure the chef is calling for some salt and pepper. Oh, yes, generously with salt and pepper. Add a little stir. The mushroom ragout. Sauce diab. See, this isn't so hard. And I want to tell you about Valentine's Day. We've got a really epic meal from Curated by Becta with a lobster and foie gras raviolo, a braised lamb shank, and some amazing dessert that I can't believe I'm forgetting right now. I think it's a chocolate cake of some kind. We've got some killer wine pairings. We've got a sparkling Brut Rosé for the appetizer, a pink sparkling, because who doesn't love that? And then we've got a Super Tuscan, sort of a really special version of what we're serving tonight, except it comes in a 1 liter custom bottle, because maybe we need a little extra wine on Valentine's Day to make sure that love is in the house. Okay, so I'm turning off the Schweitzel and the broccoli. That's good to go, and let's see what Rich says about plating. Begin by plating your mushroom ragout on the bottom, followed by Schweitzel and broccoli. All right, let's do that. Now again, you don't want to bury and cover up everything. Oh, there's a little bit of thyme leaf in there. Get rid of that. Thyme stem, I guess. Make sure that you plate it so that you can see every part of the dish, because that's very visually appealing. You don't want to hide this good stuff under there, even though you will eat it in the end. Appearance is so important. Spread it around a little bit so that it's okay. That is good. Schweitzel next. Schweitzel and broccoli next. I'm very grateful that you guys watch the videos. Every week I look and there's like anywhere between 150 and 250 views. Right now we're cooking anywhere between 400 and 500 meal kits a week. It's been incredible. Obviously, during the lockdown, the numbers have gone up a little bit as there's no dining out in dining rooms. And I tell you, when you guys order, you are giving employment to our staff. And you're keeping us going with the encouragement. And it really means the world to us. So thank you. Okay, Schweitzel down. Very important. Turn off your gas. Okay, next up, the hen and the sauce diable on top of the hen and around the plate. This guy should be cool enough to handle. It's one leg, one breast per person. Let's see how we're going to do this. This is looking good. All right. Sauce diable, you need a spoon for that. Turn that off. Turn the oven off, because I often forget that. Give it a little stir in case there's some skin on top. You know what? This is what sets Rich apart from a lot of home cooking, is that these sauces are just epic. He's sort of been trained in classic French sauces, although he's got a lot more repertoire than that. But building of a great sauce is really a miracle. When it comes off well and it has this beautiful texture, I'm going to bring it around the plate. And just the aromas are so beautiful. All right, so here we are, our roasted Cornish game hen with the Schweitzel, mushroom ragu, broccoli, and sauce diable. Now, you thought I forgot about the dessert. There is one other component that is very important on the dessert tonight, and that is a candle. Because it is my wife Maureen's birthday. And I want to say, happy birthday, Maureen. I love you. Hope you guys enjoy your dinner, and thanks so much for being a part of this.